Hello, Sergio, Laura, and me are going to present amyl nitrates, also known as poppers. First, we will go through the effects of consumption, then the effects of the withdrawal syndrome, and finally, the biological mechanism of action.
Poppers, also known as amyl nitrate, are inhalants used for vasodilatory effect in their ability to intensify sensations for a short period of time. Amyl nitrate found its way into recreational use and became popular during the 1960s and the 1970s, particularly within the LGBTQ community, thanks to their ability to induce euphoria and enhance sexual experiences. Nitrate compounds continue to circumvent regulation today and are commonly sold over the Internet, typically under the guise of incense or room odorizer products.
For the new research investigation, we have chosen a case report of a 34-year-old man who injected 8 milliliters of popper intravenously for recreational purposes over 1/2 an hour. He then suffered from dysphonia and general discomfort. Emerging medical service found him with blue-gray skin and low oxygen saturation. This case highlights the danger of intravenous popper abuse and discusses possible complications and treatment.
Inhaled nitrates exhibit rapid and efficient absorption into the bloodstream, initiating effects within seconds and lasting only minutes, and, despite some cases of severe poisonings, poppers are often perceived as harmless by consumers. Nitrate users commonly report heightened sexual perception and pleasure, accompanied by vasodilatation of cerebral blood vessels. Additionally, nitrates are thought to relax the anal sphincter, facilitating anal intercourse. Vasodilatory effects result from relaxation of involuntary vascular muscles, often leading to temporary reductions in blood pressure. Popper use can also lead to transient immunosuppression of 24 hours after the consumption, increasing susceptibility to sexually transmitted infections. As we can see on the case report, oral intake compared to inhalation is associated with increased systemic toxicity, which includes life-threatening methemoglobinemia, a serious adverse effect of large nitrate exposure in which blood is unable to carry oxygen efficiently, leading to symptoms like cyanosis of the lips and nails and brownish color of the blood. Prolonged use of inhaled nitrates is also linked to various other adverse effects, including dermatologic eruptions that typically clear up within 7 or 10 days once the drug is discontinued. Users may also develop crusty skin lesions with a distinct yellow hue around exposed areas such as the nose, mouth, lips, and face. Inhaling nitrates can also lead to sinusitis and occasionally trigger allergic reactions, often marked by wheezing and dyspnea. Additionally, headaches of varying severity are a common result of cerebral vasodilatation. Blindness induced by poppers is possible due to the toxicity of nitrates in the vascular system, which can cause retinal ischemia, that is, a decrease in blood flow in the retina. This deficit in blood supply can result in tissue damage and cellular dysfunction in the retina. Inhaled nitrates can combine with natural nitrogen compounds to form nitrosamines, some of which are carcinogenic.
The regular consumption of poppers is not associated with physical dependence. Individuals who use it regularly typically do not experience withdrawal symptoms, although it might take a few days for their bodies to adjust to the absence of the drug in their system. Some individuals have reported feeling reliant, particularly after consistent use to enhance sexual experience, but it's important to note that this reliance is not necessarily permanent. Despite the claims that amylnitril does not usually result in severe physical addiction, its regular use can lead to psychological dependence. Stopping popper consumption can lead to symptoms such as loss of appetite, insomnia, restlessness, excessive sweating, watery eyes, poor concentration, runny nose, increased heart rate, nausea, vomiting, increased anxiety, mood change, and hallucinations. The treatment for popper addiction follows a similar approach to other stimulant addictions, involving the management of symptoms through counseling, medication-assisted treatment, and lifestyle changes. The prolonged use of popper may induce tolerance and psychological dependence, particularly among males who rely on them for sexual encounters, as it was already mentioned. In relation to the case study, although withdrawal effects of the individual are not discussed, since he was in observation only for 24 hours, we don't know if the withdrawal symptoms could appear later, assuming that he stopped consuming.
Mechanisms of action, we have vasodilation via nitric oxide and also smooth muscle relaxation. When we inhale poppers, nitric oxide is liberated as a result. Then nitric oxide binds to the heme group of guanylate cyclase enzyme, and this leads to the synthesis of cyclic guanosine monophosphate. Cyclic guanosine monophosphate then triggers a relaxation of smooth muscle cells because of the reduced calcium influx and increased potassium efflux, which leads to reduced phosphorylation of myosin in smooth muscle cells, such as mentioned in the case reports, the anal sphincter fibers. So vasodilation happens and we have an increased blood flow. Is neurotransmitter modulation. Poppers may affect neurotransmitter systems in the brain. Proposed mechanisms include neurotransmitter release and reuptake, and the neurotransmitters involved would be dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine. Inhibition of neurotransmitter uptake from the synaptic cleft could lead to an accumulation of neurotransmitters, leading to more action potentials being released from the postsynaptic membrane. There may be increased signaling between neurons, which therefore may amplify the effects of mood, pleasure, and arousal effects. Like mentioned in the case report, poppers may also lead to hallucinations, which are linked to the interaction with brain receptors, but the specific receptors and interactions are still not fully understood.